All right, good morning, boys and girls. And it's Mr. Griffin here. We're going to be going over some symbols and notation in this lesson. And then there's going to be another lesson on piano. And Mr. Cassidy is going to be doing some sing-along stuff. So we're going to be kind of referring you to the website. But it's good to see everybody. And we're going to be starting with just some basic symbols like this. So you can see this one right here. This is the treble clef. Treble clef. It's going to be kind of the higher notes, and you're going to see that as we get kind of further into the piano. But just to give you a little demonstration, I have the guitar here. And this might be a little bit loud because it's through an amplifier. It's an electric guitar. But if you can hear this. See how the notes are a little bit higher? So you can kind of hear that. So on a piano, you'd be playing kind of the higher notes, okay, middle range to higher notes. And this kind of, a lot of kids say this kind of looks like you can remember it because it kind of looks like a number 6. Kind of looks like a number 6, like a fancy number 6, if you can see it right there. Now the bass clef, the bass is going to be this symbol right here. This is the bass clef. This is kind of looks like a backwards C there, and you'd be getting kind of the lower notes, okay, and let me demonstrate that on the guitar. And then later we're going to see some piano demonstration. Now this amp is kind of buzzing a little bit, so sorry about that, but see if you can hear the low notes. See how you can hear kind of the low notes there? So you can hear that kind of low sound there, right? So those are the lower notes. On the piano, they'd be more of your left hand, and then the treble would be more of your right hand, okay? So you're going to see more of that as we get going even further, okay? So that's the first thing I wanted to show you, treble and bass. So remember those two symbols. And then here we have, of course, this is the website. So this is where you can go, cngmusic.com. And pretty much all of this stuff is going to be there. So, and Mr. Cassidy and I were setting it up so that you can just scroll down, find your grade level, first and second grade. Okay, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. All the grades are going to be there. Okay, then you can get on there, cngmusic.com. All right, we're going to keep referring you back to that one. All right. So we'll see that again in just a moment. Here's our next symbol that we're going to be looking at. And this is just kind of something that you're going to need to know when we refer to it. Okay, like for example, we have a note head. Okay, that's just like the little fat part at the bottom. Okay, bottom of the note. This is when we're reading music. Okay, so this is for notation too. That's kind of reading music, right? Stem is going to be right here. This is just the part that kind of sticks out. Okay, you're going to see it written like this. Sometimes the stem can even go down that way, but you'll see that one later. Okay, and that's going to be the note head. So just remember that. We're going to be also showing you some, this again can be found on cngmusic.com. All right, let's check out some other stuff. Okay, really important here that you know what these symbols are. So if you can see this one over here, this is going to be a sharp note, and I'll kind of demonstrate that in just a moment. But to you, it kind of probably looks like a hashtag, okay? And that's going to be a sharp note. Anytime you have a sharp note, it's going to go, some of you might remember, it's going to go up in pitch, just a half step up in pitch. This, right behind me here, if you can see, and this is a flat note. Kind of looks like a little tiny B, like a smaller, like a lowercase b, and that's called a flat note. So that's going to go down in pitch, just a half step. Okay, and let me demonstrate that on the guitar so you can kind of hear what that sounds like. So this would be a sharp note. Let's say I have a C note. Listen to the change. Hear the change? So it kind of goes up in pitch, just that half step. Okay, so then if I have a flat, just the opposite. It goes down just a half step. Listen. Okay, so if we're singing that, we go la la for the sharp note, for the flat note. La la. See how the voice changes? Okay, so just the half step is what we're looking at there. All right, we can do that with chords too, which kind of is further down the road. But when if you're playing the piano or you're looking at your piano program, you're going to be going, that's a sharp, C to C sharp, and then we went down that time down to a flat, okay? So sharps and flats, all right? We're going to be talking more about that too, all right? But just remember, sharp goes up a half step in pitch, flat goes down a half step in pitch, okay? Let's look at the next slide. Just a reminder again, cngmusic.com. Make sure you go on there because you can find all of this. All right, and this is the last thing today we're going to look at, all right? And this kind of ties it all together a little bit because we're going to be reading the music. So you can see over here the treble clef on the far left way over here, all right? That's the fancy-looking number 6, and that would be the higher notes, right? So we're kind of going the middle to higher notes mostly. It's mostly the right hand on the piano, all right? So we're going to be, we just go up the scales, and all of you have done this, especially the kids from earlier this year. You've done these that we had in our class. Okay, so if you're new to this, you'll get to learn it right now, but if you've had this before, you know the C scale already because you've had it. It goes like this. So these are the notes right here that I just played all the way up. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all the way up. Okay? So these notes, they actually, they're going to kind of come into play later because then at some point, you'll be able to read these. If you already do, that's great. But at some point, we're going to be kind of our goal is that you can read this all the way up the line here. You know what these notes are, and then you can actually translate them to the piano, hopefully. Okay, so I'm translating it right now to the guitar. On the next lesson, you'll see it on the piano, but it's just like this. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all the way up. Okay, so we can basically look at those, and a musician or even a singer could go, oh, I know how to sing this because the notes are there. That's kind of the symbols that are telling me how to sing that, and then also they're telling me how to play it as well. Okay, so I can play it on a guitar. I can play it on just about any instrument. Okay, this is kind of the same language that everybody uses for the most part. Okay, it changes a little bit sometimes when you get a little more advanced, but for right now, kind of a similar language. And of course, on the piano, you'd be playing this with your right hand. Okay, your right hand going all the way up on the C. This is kind of, in this case, this is middle C right here. So we're going to be actually looking at that in the next lesson. When we get to the piano, we're looking at C, D, and E, okay? So we're going to go on to the piano lesson now, and we're going to see you in a few minutes, but that's just to review, okay, real quick. You had your treble clef, which is the higher notes, right? The bass clef, which is the lower notes, left hand on a piano, right? We had a sharp note, which goes up in pitch. A flat note goes down in pitch. And then we have, right here, we have the C scale, okay? And this is actually, we also talked about this, the note head. That would be the little blobs at the bottom. And then the stems. You can see all the stems going up on this one, okay? So, and these are your notes. This is the C scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And we'll have to know this when we get into the piano part too, all right? So we're going to move over to the piano part now.